For many years, I've been trying to sort out this sort of dilemma in my mind. It sounds a bit strange, but I don't believe in time. I don't. I don't believe time exists, which is, I wear a wristwatch. It's kind of hypocritical of me to wear a watch if I don't believe in time, but I don't. I haven't believed in time for many years. I can't explain it, though. That's the dilemma. I can't figure it out. I just know time doesn't exist. This goes way back to actually before. We have this friend who he believes in Bigfoot. Nice guy. Believes in UFOs and that they're visitors from other planets. I got him on that one. A bunch of us used to meet for lunch each day, or once a week at least. And he knows I'm a skeptic when it comes to that stuff. He said, Dennis, you got to watch this documentary on the History Channel. You watch that documentary, you will be absolutely convinced that UFOs are real and they're visitors from other planets. Okay, I got on to the TV Guide, found the documentary, I watched it. The next time we all met, he asked me, did you see the documentary? Yes, I saw it. And what did you think? I am thoroughly convinced, he started to smile, that all those people they interviewed saw a flying object they could not identify. He just kind of slumped. Another thing he believes in is time travel. That someday someone's going to invent a time machine like Stewie has in Family Guy, and we're going to go backward or forward in time. I don't believe in that. That's not going to happen because time doesn't exist. I just can't explain it. And it was Stephen Hawking who finally sorted it out for me. He did a series of TV shows, documentaries, I believe they were called Genius. And he posed different questions that people had to solve using tools that the show provided. And one of them was time travel. And he proved that time travel was impossible because it defies an unbreakable law of physics, conservation of mass. Mass is a constant. Matter can neither be created nor destroyed. I'm sure you've heard that. Okay, so let's say you've got a time machine, and let's say you go back 10 years to visit yourself where you used to work, to tell yourself, don't marry your girlfriend in 9 years, she's going to divorce you and take everything. Can you go back there as you visiting a physical person and be there visiting yourself, talking to yourself? No. Conservation of mass. Matter can neither be created nor destroyed. Where did the matter come from for a second you to exist? That matter can't be created. There cannot be two of you. So it's that law cannot be broken. Okay. So what Stephen Hawking sorted out was, he said there's two definitions of time. There's the cultural definition of time, wristwatches, Jules Verne's The Time Machine. And then there's the physics definition of time, which is actually locked in with space. They call it space-time. You can't separate it out. That's where my dilemma hangs, because I believe they use the wrong word. Time, to me, is the metric that we use for measuring motion. Motion exists. It should be time, should be space motion rather than space-time. But we've hung the word time on it. Everything is always in motion. I can give you an idea. I can explain it to you. Okay, my buddy shows up with his smartphone. He says, guys, watch. I've got a time travel app on my phone. I'm going to jump ahead 6 months. You're going to see me disappear from this table. And then a few seconds later, you'll see me come back. So he puts into his phone his time. He's going to go ahead 6 months, presses go. Now, what does he see? What we see, he disappears. But what does he see? Does he see the restaurant as it will appear 6 months from now? Hopefully it hasn't burned down. No. He's not going to see anything but blackness and a lot of stars. You won't even see the Earth, because in 6 months, the Earth will be around the other side of the sun, right? Motion. It will have traveled. He's going to be out there in the cold, black vacuum of space going, holy crap, how do I get back? So it's all motion. And that to me is where the dilemma comes from. It's like, you know what distance is? One of the first things you learn in geometry is the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Well, how do you measure that straight line? How do you measure the, well, that's length. See, whether it's miles or light years or inches, meters, centimeters, millimeters, that's length. Distance is real. Length is just a metric. It's not real in itself. Time to me is the metric. You can't have motion again, 60 miles per hour velocity without hours. You have to have hours. So we've come up with this metric of arbitrarily, more or less, dividing our day into 24 hours and then 60 minutes, 60 seconds, etc. The issue with time travel, besides the conservation of mass and energy, is that, and this is the part that I struggled with for years, is that I believe the only point of time that exists is the present. That everywhere throughout the universe, even though time progresses more slowly relative to other areas or faster relative to other areas because of their proximity to a gravitational force, I understand that. Stephen Hawking explained that. Warped. Space-time is warped by gravity. I understand that. Still, everywhere, everybody, everything is all in the present. And it's not that we're locked here or that we're held prisoners in the present. It's just that there's no place else to go. So the past isn't a destination you can visit and then return from, or the future. It doesn't exist except in memory, or it's written down in books, history books, or it's captured on film or video, whatever. It's not a place. There's nowhere to go. You can't get there because it doesn't exist. What exists is the present, and everything all the time is permanently in the present. So, when they have an app like this, I've got one actually on my phone. I think it's a game thing. I've never actually used it. I got to get to the menu. There it is. And what it'll do is, I'm sure what it's going to do is just like show me pictures from out of that time era. I'll call them up from the internet. 60s were cool. I wore bell bottoms. I had a Nehru shirt. A girlfriend of mine made me some love beads. I wore love beads. 60s were cool. I was afraid I might have to go to Vietnam. I wasn't drafted. So I'm going to go back to the 60s. I'm going to put that in there. And, this is stupid. Because I couldn't get back. They don't have cell towers back there. But what's the worst that can happen when I press go?